All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining this session, the second session in a series of four webinars that focuses on AI for agribusiness. So today we're going to be talking with Tanya about automating client management tasks and communications, basically everything that will technically make your life a little bit easier in managing your business. So as I said, this is the second session. And for those before you start to ask me, the recording of the first session is already available on Ecom Connect. So please feel free to go back and watch it if you've missed something or you'd like a refresher on the topic. And again, this one will be recorded as well and shared after a couple of days. So give us a bit of time to sort out the recording and uploading it on the platform. So you should be able to view it again in a couple of days on Ecom Connect. Other than that, I'm gonna pass it over to Tanya, who's gonna start us off today. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat. If it's relevant to the topic in question or the moment in question, I'll pass them on to Tanya immediately. If not, we will be answering them at the end of the session. We can get started.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, and afternoon for some of you. Welcome to the second series of the AI in Agribusiness. And today we'll be continuing the journey and we'll be talking about client tasks, automation, and communication. So this will be a very interesting topic for today. But first, let's recap what we covered last time. Last session, we talked about what AI actually is. We looked at what AI can do and how it can support different areas within agribusiness and operations through to decision making. And we also started to explore some basic tools and started to experiment them with in practical ways. So today we're building on that foundation. So last week we talked about AI for text and image generation. We're building on that. I'm not showing you any tools that we saw last time because I want to keep it fresh. And you need to remember those AI capabilities. I'll remind you quickly, and then we will briefly touch on AI linking tools like Zapier and Make, because these are the ones that connect different apps into to help you automate your workflows without learning how to need to code at all. So, what's this session all about? So, the purpose of this session is to build your confidence in using AI to automate client tasks and improve how you communicate with your customers. So, we'll be looking about concepts linked to client engagement, and then I'll show you tools like making your own chatbot, automating email follow-ups when someone joins your form or your mailing list on your website, and we'll even have a chance to look at video generation together. So then you'll have the ability or the opportunity to choose which routine client interactions you want to start to automate, and hopefully you'll feel a lot more confident in doing so. So, as I said, the agenda I've already recapped. We'll then talk about why it's important. There's some really cool stats I would love to show you. And then we'll talk about different ways to automate your lead process, how to use Tidio to automate customers support, lead capture, and FAQs. We'll also look at Claude, we'll look at MailChimp, we'll look at Synthesia, a lot of names, but by the end of it, hopefully you'll be able to do it yourselves too. So why is this important? So traditionally, communication and follow-up has been handled manually, which really makes it difficult to scale as your business grows. So you go to a big business summit, an exhibit, you have lots of contacts, a big list of people to contact, but you're also physically tired from having that busy day because you're only human, and you can only respond to so many inquiries. So that creates a bottleneck. But with simple automation, you can start to handle the routine interactions for you, so you can actually focus on higher value work. So to bring this to life, Starbucks has done a few automations themselves. So there's one called Deep Brew. So this is an AI system that helps personalize offers, predict demand, and even guide customer interactions automatically so that customers themselves get timely and relevant communications without staff at every step of the way. There's also Green Dot Assist with Starbucks again, which uses AI to handle customer service queries and it responds instantly to common questions, resolves simple issues, and passes on the more complex issues to a human. And the principle is the same for your business. You could start to think about what can I automate? That means someone has access or access to me as a business all the time, whilst I get time to sleep. So, why does this matter? It's really hard to respond quickly. Me as a customer, I send queries late at night because I've just finished working. But then you as a business owner, late at night, you're eating dinner or going to bed. So it's really hard. And then also if you have a global clientele, it makes it really tricky to be available for them all the time if you want to have that impressive response time and consistency, and that can really impact your sales. So a lot of cool stats here. So I was reading the MIT lead response study, which said that 78% of customers buy from the first business to respond, and 64% of customers expect real-time interaction with businesses, but most companies aren't set up to deliver that. So this is a really big impact. And this study, if you want to read it a bit deeper, is from the MIT Sloan School of Management, found that calling a lead within 1 minute can increase conversion rates by 391%, and responding within minutes makes you dramatically more likely to connect and qualify. So it's not just about small inefficiencies, it's really about whether you win or lose the person. So this is the world we live in now. People want that instant response. They want their answer, the question answered, because they're in that zone. They're busy looking for a specific product or solution. And in that moment, that's what they want to get straight away. And the first one to respond also cements that price point and that quality point in their head. So it's very important. So just a quick check-in to warm us up. Does anyone have any ideas of a client-related task that they would like to automate or handle a bit more efficiently? So you can think about time, where you spend lots of time like doing it, or you answer the same questions, or wait, just a quick pain point and let's hear it. Okay. What are the responses in the chat saying?
I have nothing so far. Data entry and handling. How to steps, I guess, is an interesting one. Satisfaction, customer satisfaction.
Okay. Sorry about that. I have a bit of a cold. Okay, so data entry.
Yeah, data entry, how to like a step-by-step processes, customer satisfaction, customer chats, send personalized alerts and notifications based on their preference, capturing lead on social media without a website, blow up time management. I'll stop here.
Okay, so we do touch on a few of those. Remember them because I'll ask you at the end. So we do cover a few of those, so that's really handy. So the first one, let's talk about automating client tasks. So now you've had to think about your own processes. Let's start thinking about turning these ideas into something practical. So in this section, we will think about how you can automate client-related tasks like handling queries, following up, and managing customer information. And then I'll walk you through some examples and demos. So here, it's not just showing you the tools. I want you to ask questions as we do the demo. And if you feel very brave or want to do so, you could try and follow me on your phone or laptop as well. So I don't just want to show you show you the tools. I want to help you understand how to use them and how to save time for yourself and scale up in this digital world. Okay, so first, where does AI fit? So there's many stages in the customer journey from the initial inquiry, ongoing communication, and post-sale follow-ups, where it can make a huge difference. So the first one will be chatbots. So this is having a chatbot on your website that instantly responds across your website and social channels to answer key questions and capture customer details. You could also do voice AI, which could handle your calls 24/7 and qualify inquiries and route them for you. And then you could also think about lead capture systems that could automatically collect details and trigger follow-ups and start that automation workflow that we briefly talked about last week with Zapier or Make. So I'll talk you through an example and then we'll do a demo. So here's an example of how I could automate customer inquiries with a chatbot. So you could have a website chatbot that can instantly answer when a customer lands on your site with a question. So someone could go on your website and say, what's the product availability? What are your opening hours? Do you deliver to this region? How do I get a quote? What's the price? And things like that. So some of these inquiries are often repetitive and time sensitive, but they're perfect because the answer is not it depends. Your opening hours are your opening hours. Booking a call is a matter of putting time in your diary, and product availability is this something that you know, or something that's in a software in the background in the background somewhere. So today we're going to cover Tidio. Because it's got a free plan available. So I think it's based on scale, and like most of them, it will try and upsell you eventually. But if you're not using it for that many customer interactions, you could be okay. So that's what we're talking through today. But before we do that, what should stay human? I think it always depends on what sort of business you have and what your customer expectations are. So if you have a luxury business and your customers are paying a premium, they might expect a human experience throughout. But if your customers really value quick responses and they'll think you're a really tech forward business, you're really adept at understanding technology, if you use it, that would also work really well. But also, as a business owner, AI isn't there to replace you. It's there to support the work that you do and take some pressure off, especially in that growing stage, in that scaling stage where there's so many hindrances to just meeting all those deadlines and it's too busy for you. So it's very good at handling speed and consistency, but it cannot think for itself. So don't give it too much of a complex job. So what is a chatbot? This is what we're talking about. So a chatbot is an automated system that responds to customer messages without you being there at all. So it works based on predefined rules or conversational flows that you have created yourselves, meaning you design how it responds and the responses that it gives are from you. And it's that the key advantage is that it runs continuously, it doesn't need breaks, and it can handle multiple conversations at a time. And it's great at answering common questions and guiding the customers through simple decision making processes. So instead of you doing it again and again, our opening hours are 8 till 4, our opening hours are 8 till 4, the chatbot can do that without getting tired or irritated. And again, you can handle more leads, you can be more consistent, and you can scale your business. I think today's main focus is about scaling your business before you have the funds or the certainty to hire more people, because sometimes there's a time of flux where you don't know, is this how business is always going to be? Before you take that risk in having lots more people. And then once you realize that the sales or the leads have been consistently higher, you can start thinking about hiring a human in the loop who can help you with your business. Okay, so the steps before we do it, you have to have a clear goal for your chatbot. You then need to create the conversation flow. We'll do that today using Claude, which is really, really handy. You build out your FAQs and key information about your business, and then you decide what happens after the interaction. Okay, so today we're using Claude to build the data behind your chatbot. So you need a knowledge base for your chatbot, you need FAQs, you need product details, you need common responses, and then you also need it in your tone of voice. You also need it consistently. And then once you've built all of that, you can put it into your chatbot tool. So let's go to Claude. Is anyone going to follow through the process with me, or do you just want to watch and then try it in your own time? Oh, I can't hear.
We have Emmanuel who's saying he will try now, but he only has the free version though. And that brings me to my other previous question from Ahmad, who says, do you use the free version of Claude or a paid one?
I used the free version this time. I don't want to pay for lots. I pay for ChatGPT only and Synthesia only. Okay.
All right, so I have, before you start, another question from Bartholomew asking why Claude? Is it possible to do it with another AI system?
Yeah, you can do it with any AI system. I think what I'm trying to show everyone during this session is the variety. Because last week we looked at Google Gemini, we looked at ChatGPT. This time it's Claude. Next time I'll use a new one as well. I just want to show you all of them. Okay, so it's a video because I don't trust my Wi-Fi, but I'll stop. So is everyone at the Claude homepage? Okay, okay, let's see. Okay, so logging in. I've logged in. Have you guys logged in? Okay, so for your website, I would like you to say, I need a draft. In the options, you need to draft something for me, Claude. All good? Let me check the chat.
Yep.
Okay. So what are you drafting? So now this is your chance to write in. I, using our skills from last year on prompting. So I'm drafting FAQs for my website, and then you describe your business, maybe even put the link in. So a small retailer. So in this scenario, I've made a business called Heels and Handbags, and I sell shoes and handbags. So you just tell them what you're drafting, FAQs for my website. Give the URL, give as much detail as you can. I didn't give much detail because the business is fictional. And then let's see what Claude says. Okay, brilliant. So it's helping me through this whole process. So it's giving me what topics I want the FAQs to cover. So do I want shipping and returns, sizing and fit, payment and orders? I want all of the above and more. And then tone of your brand. It's going to be friendly and casual, but a little bit luxury. Let me ship worldwide. And I'm very generous with my return policy of 30 days. So you just build those details in. It doesn't fill everything in for you, but as you can see, the structure of that is actually quite professional. The tone of voice, let me pause so you can see. The tone of voice is quite friendly, no stress, just return within 30 days. As usual, I always say, let's edit it, let's make it your own. I don't like these dashes, I prefer brackets instead. Um, I need to put proper details in terms of like adding a size guide. So all this information, I'm putting it all into the FAQs and I'm building something with Claude who's making that lovely structure for me. again, I need to put my personal detail, my email, how to contact, and then I can add more details about offers or whatever I want about my business. So I quite liked Claude for this one because it really took me through the process. But again, you could use any tool. So if you pay for any other tool, just go through that process and remember, the better your prompt, the better the output. So you'd say, my business is ABC. This is my website, and I want to create an FAQs document to go in a chatbot on my website. You're very clear, like you're meeting it for the first time. And then you write the details like the opening hours. Last time we talked about giving examples. So you could upload a file with your size guide or with your welcome pack about your business. And then you say, this is some details about my business. Help me build as much of a knowledge repository for my chatbot. So you don't actually have to do it yourself. Try and use what you have and have AI shape it for you. I'm just giving it more details like opening hours. So it's just tailoring it. So now I'm happy. So now I ask for it as a full list. This takes a little bit of time. So I just moved on from this. But a quick hint for the next task is the FAQs are done. I didn't make any other knowledge repository because it was getting a bit tenuous to make a lot of knowledge repository for a business that doesn't exist. But this is the demo. The next bit is I need a script to introduce my business. Remember this. This is for later. I need to introduce the business myself on my website. I want to have a video on there, and then I'm asking it to do that again. I'm giving the name of the business, Heels and Handbags. So that's the first stage, building the knowledge repository with what you have. Now you have it on Claude or wherever, just save it there. Keep it there and go on to the next bit. Okay, I'll let it finish making the video script. So it asks how long the video is, 60 seconds, and the vibe is fun and upbeat. That's my brand. It wants to include my name in the script. I said no, keep it generic. And then it's asking what's the heart of my story. I couldn't find matching shoes and handbags that I liked. And there you go. It comes out with the script, very detailed, exactly what I need there. Nice. Okay, and that's the Claude demo. Any questions, thoughts, opinions on that one?
I have a question from Gribi, but I'm not sure I understand the question. Does this include a feature? Rag, diag? Does it make sense to you?
Hold on.
May I ask the question?
Yes, please go ahead. I can't see who it is.
Let's see it.
Can you hear us? You can unmute and ask your question.
Okay. I'm saying I saw a situation where airline cancelled. I don't know what happened, but somebody's ticket was cancelled, and the chat box it was said they will refund the money. But in real sense, the money was not supposed to be refunded. So how do we avoid such situations?
So that one was like Air Canada, where they had a chatbot on their website and they took it to like the aviation, whatever, because it overpromised. I think the way to do it is to just keep it very simple in terms of what the chatbot is answering. So that's why I'm talking about FAQ. So answering in terms of opening hours, answering in terms of like simple things like is this product available? Is this like what's your returns policy? 30 days. And then when it comes to that next stage of like, oh, I want to return it, to then have it in the workflow to bring the human back in the loop. So for it to answer the question as if it's like a Google search for your website where it reads your FAQs or it reads the details in the background of your page, but then to in the workflows to then say at this stage to bring a human in the loop. So don't give it too much power or autonomy itself. But yeah, in a bit I also talk about like some data laws and what it actually says and what to watch out with. Briefly, does that answer it well?
Yes, you have answered it. Thank you.
Okay. So now we've used Claude to build the background information. I saw in the chat that someone wanted me to like write a proper prompt for it. I can do it after the session. Is that okay, Jennifer? I can just send it to you. It's not too hard. It's not too complex, but the prompts that just like you can write to get a good FAQ.
Sure. I think
So
Annabelle
mhm.
already shared it, so but still, thank you.
Okay, brilliant. Okay. So now let's build the chatbot. We've created the FAQs in the background for heels and handbags. Let's check out Tidio on how to create a chatbot demo, and we can talk it through and see what it's like. Let's see. So we've gone, I'm assuming we're just going to watch and try on our own later. So go on the website, TIDIO, and then go on get started. So here, this is me actually signing up for a free account the first time. So we're actually seeing what free can get us. Okay, so what is my name? My name is Boris. So here you start to choose what is your objective. So you have generate leads, so have automated messages that engage the audience or increase sales. So having a conversion path or offering human support, or this is what we're doing today. So replying to customer messages and keeping my support aligned. Where would I like to interact with customers? We're talking about a website chatbot, so website. We can also do WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, email. So we are saying we want AI to resolve our repetitive questions. And because my business doesn't exist, the business is Google. So what you're meant to do is if you have a website and you put your URL in, it takes the data on your website to understand your website better so it can shape your chatbot for you. But because mine is fictional, I just used Google. And what is my primary business model? Again, you have so many choices. Do you see? Luxury goods. And how many customer conversations per month? 200. I'm a business owner and I have learned about it on an online course. Again, so this is the start of your journey in understanding what to do. So today we're picking your problem and I'm just showing you the tip of the iceberg of what you can do. You can rewatch this recording and do it again slowly, but then you can also have a look on YouTube or you can use ChatGPT when you're stuck or other AI tools to help you create an AI tool. It's just a matter of sitting down and deciding that this is what I want to do. So I attended this online course. Do they need to know the online course? I wrote YouTube. So it's getting all this data. So I'm saying I use Shopify to sync my website with the AI agent and to help understand it, you see? It's reviewing my content. It's understanding my products and my services. And then there you go. My full featured trial starts now. So like most, I'm pausing it here, like most, it gives you a little bit when it's free, but this is what you can get when you have the full version. So with your chatbot, now I can see what customers are typing before they send a message. You can see the location of your visitors. You can set your business hours. You can have an unlimited number of flows. So you can see how people are going through your website, like what's their process. You can have unlimited help desk to respond to customer queries. You can have an omnichannel agent who goes not just on your website, but your Instagram, your WhatsApp. And you can have a live visitor list, and you can have multi-languages. It says 45 languages, but I think 45 plus languages, but when I went through it and I looked at like the number of African languages, I think it only had Swahili. So there you go. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you get started. So first you install your chat agent. So you pick a support channel, so your website, however you built it. You then take in a tool around your inbox, and then you add your domain. So you put your website in, so www.google.com, and then it starts to link it together, and then you have to give it permissions on the background as well. And then you add that knowledge. 5, you add knowledge to feed your AI agent, the knowledge that we've just built together, the FAQs, the welcome document, the common answers. Okay, so to install your chat widget, you can name it whatever you want. You can see it looks really lovely here. You can add the color, you can add the chat language, and then you can go on to add like the tone of voice and customize it a bit more. And then you connect it to Shopify. So it's connected to your website. So once you click that and you follow the instructions on Shopify or whatever tool you use, you can then press publish and it will be live on your website. There you go. And look, there's so much support. So by just clicking connected to Shopify, you then have the full walkthrough of all the features and how to actually make it click to Shopify, because there's so many tools. I couldn't show you them all. So if you used another web platform for your website, when you click it, you log in and it takes you through that whole process to make it happen. So if this is something you want to do for your website, it's really, really great. It's free plan, free trial, and it just gives you that chat extension to make your business a lot more engaging. So we're back here. So here we can also link to Mailbox. So you can link it to your email so you can get those automations, that information that you're getting from your chatbot, you can get it to your email and you can get that trigger to respond, or you can create your own new address. So any issues show up as a ticket in there. And again, you see the live chat, that's what we're doing. You can also do a WhatsApp integration with Tidio. So you can handle the conversations directly in your inbox and you can respond to all the direct messages. So you can integrate that and you can have your agent do that for you on WhatsApp. And you can do the same on Instagram, Facebook, and email. So you can start to not have to always be there to answer those key questions for yourself. So what I recommend is, I'm going through so many like different automation options, is today to pick one. Pick one that you're going to do it in the next 7 days and explore it. So literally go on Tidio and try it out and see what works for you. Only make one change though at a time. Don't do all of it, because you want to see how well it's working. You want to review it. See, again, you can change your chat page, you can change the background. It's brilliant. And then you install it by connecting it to your to the code in the background. So you can do it manually if you've made your website a bit more manually, but if you made it using WordPress or Shopify or other tools, you can just connect on there. Yeah, so you paste that code into your website, and then you go to your website to check if it's there once you've pressed published. Okay, let me stop and slow down and see if people have any questions.
Yes, actually, there are a few questions in the chat, and I have Emmanuel who's raised his hand. I'll start with Virginia's question. Should the chatbot or one's website be connected to Shopify for the chatbot to work?
No, it doesn't have to be Shopify. It could be any other tool. So back then my website used to be on WordPress. So I did that on WordPress. That wasn't too hard. I used to have a Wix site. Not a Wix site. I made a website using Canva, and I was also able to attach the chatbot onto my website that way. It's just whichever way you have the code, like I showed you a few steps behind. You have the manual install option there, and then you have the code and you just paste it and then you test it out. There you go.
Right.
Paste this code.
Another question from Enjoya. Can we do it with Tidio free version?
Yes.
All
Yes,
of
you
it, the
can.
chatbot and the integration and everything. You're just limited to what it can do in terms of capacities, right?
Yeah, capacities and the other small little features that I showed you, like being able to see someone's chat before they finish typing it. So just try the free one, see if it works, especially if you're a small business, you're not like having massive chats all the time. You just want to automate it a little bit and see how it goes, and then see the value it brings, and then have a think about what you want to do next. What does Emmanuel? Is Emmanuel
Yeah.
next?
Yes, Emmanuel is next.
Hi. Good afternoon. Oh, good morning. Sorry. This is
Good
Emmanuel
morning.
from
Go
Papa.
ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Please.
ask
Mhm.
to get something clear. So, you've led me down a rabbit hole already, Tanya, and thank you. So, what I have with Claude is custom, and what I'm seeing with Tidio is enterprise, right?
Yeah.
So literally, I could go ahead and build this, continue building with Tidio, with Claude, or simply subscribe and use what Tidio is giving, because it's offering more value. But is that the case?
So with Claude, it's just giving you the data. It's helping you build your data repository,
Yeah,
so you don't
yeah.
have to sit down and type it. But with Tidio, it's actually building the tool for you, so you don't have to learn how to code or anything like that, and you can just focus
Mm,
on like the things the things that matter: appearance, live chat, the
mm.
data behind it, the integrations to WhatsApp. So yes, I use both, but I don't think
Okay.
Claude could make your chatbot for you as easily as Tidio does.
As Tidio, yeah. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Thanks.
Thank you.
I think
Okay.
Rogers had the question, or I am mistaken. Either way, if you still have any questions, please leave them in the chat and we'll get back to them.
Okay. So I've got more demos coming today. So that is Tidio. Homework is just have a go at building one automation, but that's not all I'm showing you yet today. So I mentioned it briefly on chatbot watch outs. I think we should always talk about it. So they're very powerful and they help you save a lot of time, but they're not human. And even us humans, we make mistakes. So they could sometimes provide incorrect or misleading information. So it's really important to monitor it. So say you've built it, don't just let it do its thing for weeks on months on end. Just once a week, go have a review and see what's going on. Poorly designed chatbots can expose you to like sensitive information. I think that's why it's quite easier to like do it on a platform like Tidio or there's voice flow. There's a lot, but with that one is you have kind of stopped the amount of information it can have to the documents that you have uploaded, which is another thing. The documents you have uploaded make sure they only have data that is relevant and important for it to know. So in this, I was researching the South African data protection law as an example. So the Protection of Personal Information Act, and in Nigeria, the NDPR. So these laws mean as a business, you're still required to handle customer data responsibly, including data collected through chatbots. So it doesn't really stop you from using AI, these laws. They just want you to be aware that the laws that exist in terms of protecting customers are still the same. So with POPIA for South Africa, it doesn't regulate AI directly, it regulates the data that AI uses. So if your AI uses personal information, the POPIA applies fully. So that means you need to be clear about what data you're collecting, why you're collecting it, how it's being used, how you're saving it, and what you're going to do with it when it's no longer relevant for you. So there's always security risk, but you need to be aware of it, especially if you work, say, with vulnerable individuals, people with disabilities, children. You need to be very careful with that data and don't just like upload it into a chatbot. And yeah, so that's like a quick overview on that one. You can also use AI for customer calls. So this one I'm not too sure about using it for my business specifically. I don't really love doing phone calls. Some people love doing phone calls, but AI can support customer communications through voice. So not just messages or emails like the chatbot you said. So it can answer common questions, qualify inquiries, or route calls. So essentially, it's the same. You literally pick up the phone, your customer picks up the phone and calls your business number, and on the other side, it's an AI talking back to them. So there's a lot of tools. I would say have a look at them, Bland AI, VAPI, or Retail AI, or just type in AI voice tools. And this is about answering, like, the repetitive interactions. And then it pushes you to step in when it turns into a higher value conversation. So this means you no longer miss calls and you have a more consistent experience for your customers. So this is something you could do if you want. I think have a look online and think if that's what you want. I think the rule for this session is do one automation at a time so that if it goes really well, you know that it's because of this automation that's gone really well. And if it doesn't go really well, it's easy to switch off. So don't go and do the chatbot and the voice AI in one go to tomorrow. Do the chatbot and let it sit for 2 weeks and see how it goes. And if it's going well, then try the voice AI and then sit on it and see how it goes. But this is a great, great tool to help answer if you have a very phone call answering heavy tool. And again, the cool thing with AI tools nowadays is that they're pretty self-explanatory in terms of it takes you through the process. Like you saw the video, it was asking me questions to help me understand it. And other than just me talking you through the tools, you please use YouTube University. That's like the best way, or use any AI tool, chat tool to help you walk through it in doing that. So yeah, it's great for booking, especially if you have a business where you're physically doing stuff, you can't be on the phone at the same time. Okay, quick quiz. In the chat, give your response, A, B, or C. Which one of these is a good use for a chatbot or voice AI?
Okay, in the meantime, I have a few questions in the chat, but everyone seems to be answering B. That's kind of a giveaway. So two questions about still the chatbot. One from Luki that is asking, does the chatbot we create through this platform have an expiration date?
I don't think so. I think if you need to keep logging in and having a check, I think if you have the free trial, they might do upgrades, updates, and things like that. But a set expiry date, I don't think so. But I think no, but I think you need to check on it. Don't let it just do its thing.
Yeah, plus things keep changing, subscription plans, all of this might be like a moving target, so don't take it for granted either way. I have another question also regarding the data. Is it protected, or does adding it to a chatbot make it easy to be hacked? I mean, I think that's a complicated question, but if you want to take a stab at it, go ahead.
No, that is a complicated question. I think it can be vulnerable to being hacked. So that's why, like when I was saying, the information that you put in the chatbot is very important. So if you have only put into Tidio that key information of the FAQs and those documents, that's not so bad. But if you built one which links into your internal tools, into your internal Google Drive, it can be vulnerable. I think criminals are very, very smart individuals, and that's just tricky because it keeps moving and there's always vulnerabilities, but just limit the data it has access to is the best way of handling that.
All right, so it seems everybody agrees it's answer number B.
Yes, please don't let it do A, C, or D. That would be bad. Okay, so next is email automation. So emails are the bane of my existence, and it's like the number one way to communicate with your customers. It can be time consuming, and this is where automation could come in. So it could do things like responses, follow-ups, ongoing communications, so that your emails are more consistent, timely, effective. Again, it's not to remove the human element, but it's to make it more efficient. Like, you don't need to answer the same question again and again. So it could use AI and other tools to send emails automatically based on triggers or actions. So say someone on your online shop has bought a product, you don't have to write that dispatch that information of thank you so much for buying from my website. This is your product, this is how much it costs, and this is when it's coming. So that's something that could be start to be automated, or someone joining like your newsletter or personalized messages based on customer behavior. You can start to automate that. So I've started to talk about this a bit. So it's some inquiry responses. So if on your website you have your email and your details, you can automatically acknowledge their inquiry and share key information or give them a nudge. So say, oh, hey, Anna, thank you for going onto my website. Just so you know, there's 25% off when you buy a pair of heels and a handbag at the same time, and this lasts for 10 days. So that like triggers them to think, oh, I got a discount. We can also follow up. Oh, so and so, you're on my website. I hope you found what you needed for, always there for you, heels and handbags. And then you can also nurture a lead. So it's that person who, Anna, let's say she did buy the handbag, and then payday's normally at the end of the month. So you can send her nice, quirky emails at the end of the month that builds that brand and that repertoire, where you'd be like, oh, have you seen what heels and handbags were at the Met Gala this weekend? These are the trends and fashions going on at the moment. And you build that relationship with the customer, and they're thinking about heels and handbags all the time. And I talk about order and service updates. That one's pretty good. As soon as someone's written an order, being kept up to date on it. And then reminders and re-engaging, just reminding your customers that you're still there, you're still doing great work, and you're available. So let's talk through an automation before I show you a demo. So the example could be I submit an inquiry on the website, and then you send an instant confirmation email, and then it then captures and stores customer details in a spreadsheet, and then it sends a follow-up email after a set time, and then maybe could not notify you or your team if needed. So today we'll be talking about MailChimp. So caveat for MailChimp, I do have a subscription, but that's because my mailing list has gotten very big. If you want to join my mailing list, let me know. Just connect with me on LinkedIn. But a lot of tools are there for you. I think MailChimp is great because it builds the email for you in terms of format, colors, brand. But this is the email automation we're going to do. So we're going to log into MailChimp and we're going to look at the automation options. So new subscriber or new form subscription. And then MailChimp is going to draft a welcome email. We're going to look at the content in it. And then we can start thinking about creating a workflow in there. So before I start, just checking the questions. Okay. Let me go back, sorry. Email automation. Okay, so I'm on the MailChimp website. So this is the classic automations page. So you can go and have a read. So classic automation is actually only available to paid accounts, but then depending on your plan, you can go have a look. But let me show you what I can do. So to create a classic automation, I'm going to show you. Let's not read. Let's log in. We're in. You click on the automation. So here, it's a bit blurry. I'm sorry, team. It says map out a marketing automation flow that delivers a unique experience to each of your contacts. I click on that. So it's about getting your message out at the right moment. So look, it takes you through the whole process. So the first step is to use the template to get started with welcoming new subscribers to your list. So they've already created the flow and the branded email for me, so I don't have to do anything. And I've already uploaded like the mailing list. So here, this is the flow. The person signs up and then we send an email. Simple as that. Now, on the other side, generative AI is building my email. Look how nice that looks. And pause. So it's got the logo, it's got a nice image. Hello, tests. So in MailChimp, you can actually put someone's first name in there. You put a line, a star, F name, star, line. And that means from your list, it will say the person's first name perfectly. And it's really cool for them to feel like it's aimed at them without writing 1,000 emails. It's drafted the email that someone will get as soon as they join. So again, I can edit it and I can make it my own. I can make it perfect. And then it's got links to link you to the website or wherever it wants to go. It's got the usual stuff at the bottom of the email. So it's how many clicks did we do? Like 2 clicks to have a new joiner email. And then it loads a preview. And that's done. So anyone who joins will get that email. And you can always change it. Okay. So you can then also do that with texts. So you can send a text to an individual if you have their numbers. So I don't really send text automations because I don't think there's a need to for the business I have. But if you have a business that text automations work, do it. But if email works just fine, just do it. So there's so many template examples there for you. So you can share exclusive content. So you are having a sale, you can send that there. You can celebrate sign-up anniversaries. So it can look for when your contacts joined the website or your form, and they can say, congratulations for being a follower of Heels and Handbags for a year. Here's a 10% discount, or here's a free cupcake for your birthday, whichever. Again, it will save you a lot of time. So now we're looking at the flow data. I'm sorry, I fast forwarded. Let me go back so you can see it from start. So how do you see it? So you click here, and you can create your custom email flow. So you can change the trigger at the start. So mine is contact signs up to TNS, and then it sends this email. And you can see the statistics on like how many have been sent, how many have opened. If you get a bit stuck, you can get live expert help. You can send test emails. I always send myself a test email just to check things have worked. And then you can add more flows to the process so that you can take your customer through that email automation journey. Okay. And there's so many other flow templates. So it moves too quickly, I'm sorry. So there's like one where you can recover leads who are in your contacts who've not engaged with any emails or anything like that and bring them back on there. You can share exclusive content, email tagged customers. There's a lot more that you can do. You have to think of it. Recover abandoned carts. We've all had that where we've put something in the basket and then we've left. You can do that. You can send them an email. The things are endless. So I'm going to stop there because I've got so much to show you today. If there's any questions or other questions.
There
Yes,
are.
automation.
Yes. Well, you can start with the last one, then I'll give you the two previous ones, except there are a little bit like a debate, so get ready.
Okay. So no, it's not free. Give me a second to just switch my laptop on, my charger on.
All right, so automation for Mailchimp is not free. It requires paid subscription.
Yes. Yes, it
All
does.
right.
So for Mailchimp, it's not free, but you can have a look on, just type into Google or wherever you search for free email automation tools. A lot of them give you a free trial, and then you decide like, is that value worth it? So for me, for Mailchimp, well, how much do I pay? I have like over 1,000 in my mailing list, and I send lots of emails, and I pay about £20 a month, which is about what, 25 US dollars a month. But that's because I've got a lot of people in my list. It could be half that, less that. Just have a look. But I just like how easy Mailchimp makes it for me. What's the next two questions?
Okay, well, the easier one from Jemima is it possible for me to use Meta AI for WhatsApp chatbot, I'm guessing?
Yes,
Chatbot,
yes,
yeah.
it is. Yeah. So next week or the week after, when we look at marketing, we're going to go into Meta Business Suite and then start looking at those automations. So come back in 2 weeks and I'll show you. But yes.
Okay, so I guess we can just maybe brush on this one question because I think it's more complicated than the topic of this webinar. Gribi is asking, I read about what's called organized cyber deception, where AI cleverly fabricates and manipulates information to make the user believe it's real. Do you have any comments on this and how should it be dealt with?
I think as a business person, I think
Well,
some
it's hard to say. Yeah, I'm guessing this needs to be regulated by the companies and where they are located and the data protection. But yeah, as a company, I guess it would be easier.
I think as a company, just trying to be authentic. I think sometimes having, like, we're talking about how to be efficient, and I said do one at a time, not because you don't want to have that experience where everything is AI because it ruins that customer experience. It doesn't feel human. So maybe not doing everything that I say, just picking one that causes you a lot of pain and suffering in your business. If you get 100 emails a day asking questions that can be answered, maybe automating that but leaving other bits, maybe being really careful about like the video or the images that represent your product. Sometimes you just don't want to deceive your customers, essentially. It's always nice to arrive in something's better in person than online. Yeah.
Okay. I think we can go on.
Okay. So going to move a bit quicker because I've still got a few slides to go. So watch outs. So it's great to automate your emails, but if you write your email months ago and then it goes out, it might be inaccurate or irrelevant, or the state of the world may be different. Over automation or not personalizing it enough can just reduce their engagement. An example of a watch out would be, imagine sending an automated email with a pricing or an offer, but you can't offer that anymore because your prices have gone up. So that leads to confusion or lost trust from your customer. So have a watch out. Like when I write my emails, I'll do them maybe 3 months in advance. But every like first day of the month, I just have a quick review of things that are coming out automatically, just to make sure it's okay, based on the way the world is changing. And also getting permission from people to be added to that mailing list. So a lot of websites have that pop up, put your email in, and that's permission. But after I don't remember how long for GDPR, is it 7 years? Not keeping that data like for the rest of someone's life. I'm looking at the data and getting rid of old data and information and getting new permission to keep their details. Okay, so quick one. What is a good example of a good email automation workflow? Okay, have people responded? C, yes, it is. Okay, so I think we're on the last section. So what is lead capture? So lead capture is collecting information from potential customers who've shown interest in your business. So it's, instead of letting inquiries come and go, it's keeping that information in a structured way so you can act on it. So if you've got quite a high priced product or product that people don't buy on a whim, you're not selling like crisps, you're selling a bed, you're selling a sofa. Someone might not buy the first time they contact you. They might write an inquiry and then sit on it and not buy it. So it's about taking those people through the journey where you track, you follow up, and you convert their interest into business. So without that, you lose your chance of turning someone's interest into a sale and a relationship. So how can AI help? So it can start asking questions about needs and priority, or it can organize the information and put them into a spreadsheet in your back folders, or it can send emails or automations like we just did without manual effort. So Jennifer sent an email on my website 3 months ago saying, I like green sofas. And I just send her emails. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's going to be spring. Green sofas will look so good in spring. Just that journey that keeps someone engaged. So tools. So last week we talked about tools like Zapier and Make. And we talked about Tidier, we talked about VoiceFlow. So here, someone could submit a form or interact with your chatbot on your website. That then triggers it to be stored in a sheet or in your CRM. And then you then use Zapier or Make to connect the tools to either send an automated response or to trigger you to make your next step or action. So you could do that one. This one we're going to actually do in 2 weeks' time. So you could also automate social media using Meta Business Suite and Zapier to create a seamless process. So someone sends an Instagram message. Have you ever been on Instagram where someone writes a post and says, type in yes in the chat to get your free business guide or whatever? So that's one of those automations. So you create a post or you gather inquiries from social media. It then automatically responds with that message, but then it also sends the data automatically to their system where they then store and organize the leads, That lead data can then go into MailChimp or any email tool to start that email process of thank you for showing interest in heels and handbags. This is what we're all about. Or happy 5th of the month, you got paid last week. Are you thinking about handbags and heels? So creating that flow where just because they send one inquiry on social media, they go through that process. And then also a key thing is at the bottom of each email that I send and lots of people send is an unsubscribe button. So some people get really irritated with constant emails like I did when I used to get consistent emails from fast food places when I'm on a diet. So clicking unsubscribe is a great thing to do. Watch outs. Of course, I want to always tell you the watch outs. Don't over automate everything, and also don't have a lack of follow-up. Don't have a beautiful automation from your Instagram and a beautiful email chain, but then if someone says, I want to buy this product, don't take 5 days to then like process the product sales. That's really like incongruent. So all the things that you're automating with AI, be sure that when it comes to the human in the loop aspect of it, for you, the human in the loop, to actually do it, don't rely too much on one channel. I think it's good to have a variety. So if a system fails, sometimes they do fail, or connectivity drops, or something happens, you've got a backup. Okay, I've been quizzing you guys way too much. We can skip this one if you want to answer. Feel free. B. The answer is B. Okay. Last section. So this is last section, last demo. So you can use AI to communicate. We talked about this last week. So you can use it to draft emails and messages. You can use it to respond to queries and summarize long conversations or notes. I saw some people join this session with their note takers. That's a great use of it. And then you can also use AI to translate or adapt messages. And the last one is you can use it to create simple videos or introductions to explain your product or service. I think the purpose of this session or this classes is also for you as consumers and business owners and humans to also know what AI can do, so that when it does take place in the real world, you also understand what's real and what's fake. So what I'm going to show you quickly is using AI to introduce your brand. So you can create a short video to explain what your product or your service is, showcase your brand personality, and communicate your value. Today, we're going to use Synthesia to do so. So I think this links to AI for deception thing we talked about earlier, but this is called Synthesia, and you can create studio quality videos with AI avatars and voiceovers. So this one does have a free aspect to it, but the free aspect just limits how many hours of content you can make. So if you're not making lots of videos, you want to make one, that's fine. So you log in and then you can create a video. Or you could also create one with an assistant, or you can translate any video. So today we are going to create a video using the script we made with Claude. And look at all these templates. So this is great for if you work for a big business to create like a CEO video where you have the avatar of the CEO in there and you just write a script. So yeah, this gets a little bit scary on what AI can do. So here, this is an avatar, like a model. We can pick a new one. I like Ina, she looks really lovely. Wearing her brown cardigan. And you can do a company introductory video. Welcome to Heels and Handbags. So I'm making a great AI video with it. So here, moving her a bit, changing the background. Now we're on to Claude, where we're copying and pasting that script that Claude made for us. And then we paste the script in. We delete the stuff that says it's AI. Always remember to delete the AI bits at the end. Okay. And then it's got a script. She's got a script. We've got the human avatar. You can then create an AI video. Okay. You just click generate. I'm sorry, I'm very into yeah, you click generate, you preview, so that's what it will look like. I'll show you the final product in 1 second. So I've clicked generate.
Not sure if we're supposed to be hearing the sound finally. We don't know.
Oh. Hello.
I can hear it tricky sometimes.
Okay, so oh, I wasn't showing computer sound. Is that what we were saying?
You could just see the audio.
Okay. Let's try again.
Hey there, and welcome to Heels and Handbags. I'm so glad you're here because honestly, this little shop exists because of a very relatable problem. I could never find shoes and bags I actually loved. You know that feeling. You're scrolling, you're searching, you're trudging around the shops, and nothing is quite right. Either the style's there, but the quality isn't, or you love it, but it doesn't come in your size. So frustrating, right? So I decided.
So this is either, I think it's this Marmite, you love it or you hate it. So this is an AI capability that is there. So it means as a consumer, if you see it, that not everything you see is real. But then also, what you could do is you could create yourself as an avatar in Synthesia. I've done it where then I can do my intro video, but every time I try and film something, I always get it wrong. I say the wrong words, I sneeze, I blink, I look in the wrong place, my background's not perfect. And it means you can create lots of that training program you've wanted to, or you can introduce your brand nicely. So you can do it if you want as a capability. So it's really, really cool and easy, super easy. So there's other ways you can use AI as well. You can use it to prioritize leads. So you can paste it into an AI temporary chat or a chat where you change the settings so it doesn't train itself again. We covered that with how to do that with ChatGPT. And then say, AI, please categorize these inquiries into high, medium, and low priority. And in a table, like give me next steps. That's great to do when you're overwhelmed and you're actually a bit burnt out and tired. And then you check the output and then you make the next step. You can also use it to generate quotes and proposals. So if you have a set price, so if you charge by this product costs 20 US dollars, this product costs 15, and then it costs this much to make it. If you have that data, you can use that to start to draft a quote based on the following details and personalize it to the user. So you can start to make sure to protect your profit and your break even so that you're not quoting for less than it is. And then you can use it to maybe say the customer expects me to come down under 500 US dollars. What can I do? What can I reduce of these fixed and variable costs that I have to create this outcome for them? I think we talked about this one last time. You can use it to summarize meetings, create task lists for discussions. So what you can do is in this meeting, say we had a transcript, you can then upload the transcript and then say summarize the key points and decisions from this conversation. We can say create an action plan with owners and deadlines, and then you can manage and follow that up. It's really handy for that. And then the last one is voice to text communication. So you can actually record a voice note on your phone or click the voice option on the AI tool and then say, turn this into a professional email and review and send it. That's when you don't have your phone all the time, or it's just so much easier for you to just use your voice. You're driving or you're just busy. Instead of saying something, then writing it down and then remembering everything. Okay, so let's move on to the summary. I think we've got about 10 minutes left. We have covered a lot of ground. So we have essentially said AI is most valuable when it's used to a real problem that you're facing. So if you want to manage your customer inquiries with chatbots and get a quick response, you could use a tool like Tidio. If you're inundated with emails, you could automate an email workflow for your customer. If you have been thinking of making more customer videos to introduce your product or explain your services, you can use something like Synthesia. The fun thing with the AI boom we're in right now is the tools I'm saying are not the only tools. They're just the ones that I, as a slightly biased human, like we all are, have used and found easy to use. So if you say like AI tools to create simple videos, and you find something else that's a bit cheaper, that's a bit more accessible for you, do that one. You can use Claude or similar AI tools to generate and refine content for your chatbot. And then you can also start to automate lead capture with our Meta Business Suite. Essentially, you want to create that best customer experience. You remember in the start where I said, what was it? 71% of customers go to the first business that responded to them. If you want to be that first business that responds, this might be an idea. Or you might think of another more human way to improve the customer experience. So back to the start, what's one way you're going to automate your client management approach? And do you feel comfortable doing this?
Okay, while everybody shares, wait, I'm hearing myself. Can you hear me? Okay. While everybody shares their answers and their questions in the chat, and you get a little bit of rest, Tarnia, I'm gonna launch our usual survey. So it's a pop-up. It's gonna come up on your screen. Please take a few, well, it requires kind of a minute to complete. So please take the time to complete it. It will help us know if you learned anything new from this webinar, which I'm assuming it is, but also what kind of other topic you want us to cover in upcoming webinars, whether on AI or anything else. So you have to pop up the survey on your screen. Please complete it. And I think, well, so far we're still waiting to see answers to your last question, but I have a question from Luki. When making videos with AI, the problem that often arises is that the characters in the video are inconsistent. How can we make the characters consistent from the beginning to the end of the video?
I am not too sure of that one on the spot, but at the last session when we talk about marketing, maybe we could look at creating a marketing video with consistent tools. So essentially come back on the 12th of May at this time and we'll try it together.
Great. So I'm going to also be sharing the link to your upcoming session on the 5th of May on smart finances, automate invoice payments and reporting. So if this is something people are interested in, you can sign up automatically now. I should put it in the chat. Give me just 1 second. Any other questions from people?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I've been seeking to kind of rework my website, and I want to know if there is an AI tool there that can just help me do this, not like give me the ideas what to do. I want the website to tell stories more about the coffee farmers that I work with. So I'm wondering if there's a website out there that can, an AI tool that can help me do that.
AI tool to help you build your website. I think a little while ago, and I used Wix to create my website. It was quite good at having that AI capability on the side to help me with creating the website. But then you could also use like just is it the story you're trying to create, like creating a nice flow of the website?
Yes. Yes, the story. Tell more of the story. So we have the website already. Now we want to rework it so that it tells more like the storytelling, reflects the farmers, the community, and things like that.
Why don't you use something like Claude? Why don't you take your URL for your website, put it into Claude and say, review my website and um, give me clear opportunities to include more storytelling about the farmers in there and give me exact like where to put the storytelling, and then you say an example of the stories that I want to tell, and then you write a story, or a fact you want to tell on your website, and then you see the feedback it gives you, and then maybe you could do that in a chat with it, and then the outputs it gives, you review it, and then you can put it onto your website. Would that work for you, Fortune?
I think so. Thank you so much. This is helpful. Thanks.
Okay, I have a few additional questions. So just to let everybody know, because I've seen the question a few times already. So we don't share the presentation just because, well, first of all, this is the property of Tanya. She spent all of her time creating it. But from the recording, you can get the gist of the information, you'll see the slides, but also most importantly, you'll see the demo videos, which are not featured on the slide, which is, I guess, the most important thing that you want to get back to later. I have a little bit more complicated questions, Tanya, if you'd like to skip them, and then maybe we'll address them on another session when we talk about ethics, if you want. So there's one from Gribi that basically says, you previously stated that artificial intelligence shouldn't be relied upon for complex decisions. But statistics show that AI is growing at an incredible rate. Will the day come when AI controls or political decisions? In your opinion, would you prefer this or would it be detrimental?
I would not support that. I think what makes the human experience great is just us as humans, how random we are, how like you can't control like what the outputs we have and how we work. So I would say I don't want that. I don't think it would work because the way that the economy is set up at the moment, I just don't hope for that. I just think at the moment AI is like email almost. It's like that next digital step. It really helped us not have to send faxes or like post letters, but now it's just how we do things, and we still have jobs. We're fine.
All right. And last one from Virginia. If you use AI for product introduction, where do you post this video? On your website, introduction page, shop floor page, or where?
It depends. If you're introducing your website and your brand and why you've created it, I would just do it on like the front page. Like you've seen other websites where you go on, it's like, welcome to Heels and Handbags. So you could do it there. Or you could have a lot of companies have an About Us page. If you're introducing the company ethos, you could put it there. Um, again, you could use AI to do that, but maybe use your own likeness in that process, just so it's a bit more authentic. It's just you in a studio setting, but there is something a bit uncanny valley about AI videos, and something in you tells you that it's like not quite human, but it does the job quite a lot of the time. It does it well.
All right, I think that's about it for today. So I want to thank everybody who's still with us up until now. just to let you know that you've managed to break your previous record and our previous record last time. I think we had, like at the peak, 105 participants in this webinar. So yeah, I think it's a year of breaking records, and I'm really grateful to you, Tanya, and everybody who joined this session. We hope to see you in 2 weeks for the upcoming one. I've shared the link in the chat. And give me a few days, the webinar recording will be uploaded on Ecom Connect. You can watch it anytime and get back to it if you would like to review anything specific. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Tanya. Thanks, Jennifer. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Okay.